Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of season 4, Racing Mars. Okay, we're finally moving past some of the stuff that's been kind of upsetting me. Again, I don't know exactly what they were doing at this point because the production side is just confusing the crap out of me. But we're kind of getting past it and we're kind of getting to a better arc again because they're basically moving back to what would have been happening if whatever they just did didn't happen. Man, after one thing, the next thing is blank. And, that's what's happening here, obviously. Um, I get the feeling, they really cut out like a lot of story when it comes to Mars. Sometimes you get this content that has like a really well flushed out, developed depth to it, even though there's no reason for it to have that depth. And usually it's because there was something else that existed to require that depth. And when I hear some of the things they talk about in relation to Mars and the material they have in relation to Mars, I really get the feeling that if I'm right about that season 3 to 4 transition, then they were originally planning on having a lot of the show taking place on Mars completely. And if you think about Garibaldi's arc and what you experience with him at the beginning of the season, and then you consider removing the DeLorean arc, we're going to call it the DeLorean arc, but not actually removing the character, if that makes sense. I think you can see that there's actually a room for a new central arc that could be really quite powerful. This life on Mars thing. They really actually seem to have a really fleshed out world, which is kind of a head scratcher because it doesn't get that much screen time for being as prevalent and as developed and as interesting as a place as it appears to be. Yes, it's kind of like, looking at a beautiful painting and they only talk about one corner of the painting, and you can tell that there's more because, the painting extends beyond what you can see, and they just ignore it, and you're just like, well, okay. It happens all the time. You build out a story, you have an idea, you expand it, you grow it, you stretch it out, you see where it goes, and you expect it to go somewhere. And if it doesn't work, you cut it out, and those pieces are still there, you just don't consider them relevant. And I've never thought about it until I realized I'm going to call it the Lorien arc. It's not really accurate, but the Lorien arc really pisses me off, and it was a really bad decision. Really bad. Man, this show would have been so amazing if they had done this differently. And this part of the story would be completely different. And probably better, by the way. Yes, I don't know how else to say that. I don't know how else to think it. I don't know how else to anything. So I'm going to wrap it up there. You guys have a good one. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. See, look at me. I'm getting comfortable doing that. Wow. Anyway, have a good one.